Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Prolearnz Power Talk, your space for inspiring conversations that spark ideas, learning, and transformation. At Prolearnz, our mission has always been to explore ideas, journeys, and professions that don't just shape careers, but also transform perspectives. Each conversation is a window into a world of passion, purpose, and possibilities. This is episode 4, and today we are diving into a theme that beautifully blends traditions with tomorrow: culture, creativity, and preservation in a digital world. And who better to walk us through this vibrant journey than our special guest, Anushka Dutta. Anushka is currently a PhD research scholar at Vishwabharati Shantiniketan, specializing in the history of art at Kalabhavan. She holds an MA in museology from the University of Calcutta and a BA honors in history from Loreto College, Calcutta. Professionally, she has worked as an academic intern at the Indian Museum, Kolkata, and most recently as a curatorial assistant at the Arts Acker Foundation, Museum of Modern Art and International Center for Creativity and Cultural Vision. Her academic contributions include presenting papers at national and international conferences on topics ranging from traditional ecological knowledge to digital preservation of folk art, while her writings and art reviews have been regularly featured in Artifact magazine. A passionate young voice in the field of museology, art, history, and cultural documentation, Anushka is redefining how heritage connects with modern storytelling, technology, and community engagement. This conversation is especially close to my heart because it opens doors to students, young professionals, and curious minds to explore areas often overlooked, but rich with opportunities, creativity, and impact. So, stay tuned as we uncover the hidden layers of museology and cultural narratives with Anushka in Prolearnz Power Talk 4, exploring careers beyond the conventional. Let's begin. Welcome, Anushka, to our talk show. How are you feeling?
Thank you for having me. I'm feeling great, and it's a great opportunity for me to share my experiences and learning that I've had in the past couple of years. So it's a great honor for me to be able to share my experiences.
Okay, let us dive into the questionnaires. My first question to you is, what do you think is the biggest cultural treasure that most people overlook in everyday life?
Uh, this is a very interesting question. To me, it includes the little experiences in day-to-day life. The experience of traveling by a train, bus, or an auto, encountering several lives, interacting with them, sharing food, forms an integral part of who we are. And these little experiences stay with us and teach us how culturally, socially, and economically diverse the society is. And let me tell you, this learning is extremely crucial for one to sustain. For one to become a social member, it is extremely important to understand the inherent characteristics of a society. And I mean, as all of us know, that some of the basic features of culture includes the idea of shared language, customs, traditions, beliefs, and therefore these little conversations play a crucial role in documenting those features. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes what happens these days, we are so much involved in ourselves sometimes we
Yes,
forget about these shared experiences that actually create
absolutely.
the values
Exactly.
and
I
experiences.
actually got to, I have always been, I've believed in this for a very long time that the experiences that we encounter in our day-to-day lives, the importance of it. But in the recent years, now since I'm pursuing my a PhD in the Department of History of Art, Bharati, so I'm constantly traveling from Kolkata to Bolpur and then from Bolpur to Kolkata. So as a daily passenger, it amazes me to see how beautiful the society in actually is. People are so different, and you get to learn so much from them. Some of them have very different food habits. Some have very different dressing habits. Like they dress a little differently from what we are used to seeing. So this teaches us a lot, and it brings a sense of acceptance as well. We automatically start accepting people the way they are, and that's extremely crucial for one's growth as an individual.
Absolutely. Okay, let
Yes.
us move to the second question. What were the turning points that shift your professional path? Were you always interested in art and culture?
uh, History has always fascinated me, and it was with the help of the subject that I actually got exposed to the world of art and culture. When I took up the subject for further studies in college, I realized the depth and knowledge it offered. The subject is vast and deals with various realms like politics, religion, culture, literature, administration. What drew my attention was cultural history. More specifically, the study of artistic productions as an expression of a society's beliefs, customs, traditions, and means of interpreting historical experiences in various contexts. One of my earliest interactions with the field, I remember, began with the study of prehistoric societies. I remember my professor in introducing us to the different stone tools that were made by these prehistoric societies, and it's very interesting to see because these stone tools are, these are very crucial evidence as far as archaeology as well also museology goes, because they teach us how the human society progressed and developed. So that was one of my initial exposure. It later proceeded, of course, to different eras that helped me broaden my knowledge base and further my interests. Later, I took up museology or museum studies for my master's degree, and the subject reignited my interests. For those unaware, I believe most people are unaware of what museology actually stands for. I would just like to give a brief introduction. The subject is a practical study of museum organization, management, and heritage preservation of collections. It covers key concepts related to collection management that includes acquisition, documentation, exhibition, display, conservation, education, and outreach. So the subject provided me the much needed practical knowledge and brought me a step closer to the world of art. I also, as you have already been, this has already been mentioned, that I joined Art Seeker Foundation, which is a museum of modern art, as its curatorial assistant, and that helped me gather some working experience in the field. And currently, I'm pursuing a PhD in the Department of History of Art, where I'm actually looking into the production of metal sculptures in Eastern India in the medieval period. So yeah, that's how I've actually proceeded towards this field, and I've always been fascinated by art and culture. It's a vast ocean. There's so much to learn. Honestly speaking, I've just started off. I am not very well aware of um, all the artistic practices and cultural practices. It's a long journey, but yeah, so far what I've been able to gather, um, I mean, it's amazing. That's all I can say. I think that's the only word that I can say to describe the field. It's just amazing and magical. Yeah.
Yeah, it's magical to see your passion uh, yeah, in your subject.
Yeah.
So when passion meets this along with your occupation or profession, rather
Hmm.
we can say, then the
Yeah.
total enjoyment is been visible in your
Yeah.
learning outcomes. So
Yes.
come to the next questions. How does museology connect with modern technology,
Hmm.
storytelling, or even activism?
Museology in recent times, I would say museums around the world have shifted from traditional display techniques and systems to incorporate modern technology for an immersive experience. The use of augmented reality, virtual reality, audio visual technologies has brought people closer to the artifacts and the narratives associated to them. Um, there's a thing in museology, we call it museum fatigue. That is, the sense of the fatigueness that comes when you're, when you're actually strolling around the museum, and there's a point when you feel like, you get bored and you're like, you really don't want to go ahead with it. Which is a very natural thing to happen, right? And I think this mostly, this particular, I mean, I would say museum fatigue can in fact be, I mean, this aspect can be dealt with if we incorporate modern technologies, because that makes the experience of viewing an artifact, or viewing artifacts in a museum way more interesting. Not just kids, but it caters to all sections. I remember, back when we were doing our masters, we were taken to Gujarat for educational tour, and there's a museum called Dandi Kutir, which is in Gandhinagar. So it basically documents the journey of Mahatma Gandhi. So there, the museum is beautifully arranged. You're provided with little audio sets which narrates the story while you are viewing the presentations, the exhibits, and it automatically brings a sense of excitement. Also, there is another museum, which is the Calico Museum. It's a very popular museum in Ahmedabad. That particular museum, in fact, does not haven't included much modern technology into its curation, but the display technique is so fascinating that it automatically, ignites excitement and interest. So I would say that is one way. I mean, I think in the recent years, in fact, museums in India are in the process of incorporating modern technology into the process of curation, exhibition, and display. Uh, as far as storytelling goes, storytelling forms an integral part of museum practices. I think the motto is to be able to educate the public about a certain object, the stories associated with it. Every object in a museum has a backstory, and it is the responsibility of a museum to capture its significance and present it to the viewers. These stories, in fact, bring the artifacts to life and connect us to the past. So, effective storytelling can be a great way to educate visitors about an object, and modern technology again can come handy as far as storytelling goes. And as far as sorry, I think the other part was activism. Yeah. So as far as activism goes, museums are a public space which underline contemporary issues. They underline marginalized narratives through thought-provoking exhibitions, installations, lectures, and seminars, and they help foster dialogue and understanding. um, it's amazing how we can have a gallery or an entire museum devoted to the indigenous communities of India for people to know, because their voices, their stories have been marginalized, have been, we could, undermined for years. So museums are a great way to uh, promote those stories, to promote their voices, to give them a voice. So yeah, these are some of the ways through which museums play a very crucial role.
Actually, we, as ordinary people, we know very little about what depth is there in studying everything
Yes,
about museums.
yes,
So,
yes.
through this kind of career option, only the exploration of such unconventional paths can be done.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
related to my next questions. For a young student or graduate, how does one start in these fields? Are there formal courses in India or abroad?
Uh, Museology is an interdisciplinary course, so that requires a bachelor's degree in a related arts or science-based subject, which could be history, it could be archaeology, botany, zoology, fine arts, geology, anthropology, chemistry, and so on. Um, Now, bachelor's degree courses are rare and require. I mean, there are institutes there are institutes providing bachelor's degree in museology, but for that, one needs to have a bachelor's degree in any related field. As far as I mean, in India, most institutes offer post graduation degrees as well as diplomas in the field. Some well-known institutes include the Indian Institute of Heritage, there's University of Calcutta, the Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda, there's Benares Hindu University. Deccan College in Pune, if I'm not mistaken, provides a diploma. Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, which is in New Delhi, also provides a postgraduate diploma in museology. And there are many other institutes who are providing formal courses in this field. Uh, I would say museology has great scope in abroad. There are several institutes abroad that provide formal training in the field. However, I'm not very well acquainted with the opportunities and scope outside of India, so I need some time to research on this. And I would definitely want to get back on this later on. But as I mean, I'm not really well aware of the prospects that are there outside of India. But there are several universities providing formal courses in the field.
Definitely. So, in your opinion, how can cultural education make someone smarter, not just academically, but emotionally or socially?
This will, I mean, this would again, I would like to go back to the first question, because for me, cultural education, just informs us of the cultural diversities out there. It just makes us more accepting. It helps us value people. It helps us value their cultures, their traditions, and customs. It just helps us broaden our horizons. Uh, and it helps us break the bubble in which we live, and which is very important to break the bubble and to be able to expand our horizons and um, include much more respect and acknowledgement for other cultures and the people who are associated with those cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I also feel that it increases the emotional quotient of any
Yes, it
individual,
does.
which
Yes.
is actually
Yes.
required. Ththese days, now
Yes,
the
absolutely.
focus is on EQ rather than IQ, because
Yes.
in the long run, if we want to sustain in any circumstances, whether it
Yes.
is professional or personal life, the EQ
Hmm.
actually is our main weapon for that, rather than
Absolutely.
IQ.
Yes.
So
Yes.
all these been enhanced through this kind of career option or studying this kind of thing, I feel like. Okay, and
But I
now,
also feel that sorry to interrupt, but I also
please,
feel that
please.
museology and other related fields like art. I mean, one does not need to, as far as cultural education goes, in order to be educated culturally, one does not require a formal education in fields like museology, archaeology, or maybe there are many other related fields, right? Cultural education comes with day-to-day experiences and the way we can either we can allow ourselves to accept cultural diversities, or we may not. That's our decision. I mean, that's something that we need to decide for ourselves. But in order to be culturally educated and in order to have respect and acknowledgement for other cultures, uh, one needs to really broaden their mindset. I don't think that needs any formal education. That needs to be. I mean, I've come across so many people who are just not. I mean, who are not really aware of their own culture. There's so many aspects that they're absolutely unaware of, and I don't find it really good. I mean, there's nothing um, good about not knowing enough about your culture. So these things needs to, when these things come naturally to us, something that we organically develop. So yeah.
Yeah, over the time, I have also the same experience that most of the people actually are
Mm.
unaware of their cultural
Mm.
heritage and all.
Yes, 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 yes.
So that is how it's depend entirely on the mindset of the people. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Now
Yes,
we'll be coming to the last questions of the today's session.
yes.
If you could give one visual image to define this field, what would it be?
Wow. There are so many ways I can define this field, but the one image that immediately comes to my mind is a bridge. I feel the field is actually a bridge. It helps to connect one generation to the other. And this, the role that it plays, which is not acknowledged by many, because in this country we don't pay much heed to arts, honestly speaking, but that's how crucial the subject is. It's a bridge. It connects one generation to the other. Today, as a student of museology, I would, I mean, the little things that I collect, preserve, I would want the same to pass on to the next generation, and I would want them to pass on those same artifacts or the little objects to the next generation. So that's how important museology is. It acts as a bridge. It just helps one generation. It just helps to connect one generation to the other. Yeah, I think that's how I could possibly define the field.
That's wonderful visual representation. I think you
Yeah.
have inclination to photography also. Do you?
Yes, yes. I like to capture certain visions and moments.
So, do you feel any kind of connection related to the your professional, the field you have chosen, and photography? Can it be combined in some way?
Yes, absolutely. Photography and this field can be combined in different ways. Uh, in fact, I mean, I'm pretty sure this. I mean, just to let you know that museum, there's a thing called museum photography. You know, we are taught. This is a part of our curriculum, which is museum photography, where you actually study the nitty gritties, the basics of museum photography. Because see, museum photography, when you're taking a picture of an artifact, you're basically documenting it. So it acts as a process of documentation. So the same thing can happen in day-to-day life. So if today I take a picture of a terracotta temple in Vishnupur, that picture remains as a documentation. I tend to, I mean, it remains as a documentation which I can look back and forth, because no, it is also a very valuable asset, I would put it that way. So photography definitely can be incorporated into the field in various ways.
So these are interlinked, actually.
Absolutely, very, very much interlinked.
So that means this kind of career option, if someone has inclination for photography or history or this archaeology and all, so they all can pursue this kind of career.
Yes.
Both. in museology, and they connect that with archaeology or photography or like this.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So actually, this career option is quite unknown to most of the people. That is
Many,
why
yes,
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 I
yes.
thought of
In
bringing you
fact,
to this platform.
the photographs that we take in the conservation process, these photographs are very crucial because they help, and they help you mark the rate of deterioration that an object has had. Say a picture that was taken 5 years ago, that can be compared to the present condition of the object, and you can in fact take down if there are marks of deterioration, what changes have happened in the last 5 years. So photograph is a very crucial part in museology and is very much interconnected with the field.
Okay. So maybe I can again call you for another session
Yes,
once you
absolutely.
explore more after a few
Yes,
months.
yes,
Uh, Definitely, because we need to know more about this kind of career opportunities.
yes, yes, yes.
Thank you
I
so
would love
much.
to share my whatever I've learned in the past few years. I would love to share it with everyone out there. For,
Definitely. So, thank you so much for joining us on this inspiring journey through culture, creativity, and preservation in the digital world. Uh, Heartfelt thanks to our guest Anushka Datta for sharing her passion, insights, and experiences that remind us how powerful it is to blend tradition with technology and open new horizons for young professionals. At Prolearnz, we believe every voice, every vision, and every story has the power to transform lives. If you are someone with a vision to share and a voice that can inspire, we invite you to be part of this series. You can register to join us as a speaker through the Google Form link in the description box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such meaningful conversations. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep transforming. This is Dr. Shanoli Ray signing off from Prolearnz Power Talk 4. See you in the next episode. Thank you. Thank you all, and thank you, Anushka, for
thank
this
you so
wonderful.
much. Thank you.